What's going on, everyone? Happy Friday the 13th. I want to break down a couple things in preparation for next week. Now, the week is over. I hope you had a good week. Even if you might not have had a good week, I hope that at least you were able to learn something. Okay, so I want to talk about something really, really quickly. It's recovery trade psychology. Recovery trade psychology. Okay. Too many traders have not figured out a recovery plan. Okay, recovery trade psychology, whatever. Many of you guys focus on what you did wrong so much that you don't have a plan. You have a plan to self-sabotage, but you don't have a plan to actually recover what was lost. And you feel sad and disappointed about what was not done or a performance that you are not too proud of. But let me be so real with you right now. Things happen. Be okay with that. But a trader that understands their setups very well don't dwell on losses for too long. You know why? Because you know what circumstances and how you'll be able to scale your way back, and what circumstance and what setups will help you to recover what you just lost. If you don't have those setups in mind, then it'll make it harder for you to believe you can come back from whatever loss you took. And if you've been taking trades that has not completely decimated your account, you should be fine, yo. Stop being in your head for so long to the point where you're affecting your own trading psychology for the next following week and the next following day. All right. For me personally, what does that look like? If I lose a particular percentage out of my account, I'm like, damn, man, that's annoying. I can't believe I did this, or I can't believe I made this mistake. But that's about it. I'm like, all right, okay, we lost this amount of money. How are we going to make it back, bro? And then I start coaching myself by saying, hey, if we see a break and retest next week, oh, yeah, we're taking that trade. And the beautiful thing about some setups is if that setup is high quality, that means less chances of taking a loss. For example, if the market give you a setup like what I've been teaching you guys. For example, I took this trade, right? Stupid simple trade. It's the retest of the pre-market. If I ever make some losses out of the week, I'm like, all right. But look, if price bounces by 9:30, 9:45, and where it bounces is the pre-market 8:30 to 8:45 demand. Oh yeah, I'm taking that buy. I'm putting my stop loss below that pre-market low. Because I know the setup works so well and I see it very often every week, I can depend on it. So if I'm risking, I don't know, $500, I'll make $1,000 back because look, 500 divided by, let's say the stop loss is 52 points on US30. I could use $9. $9 times 120 pip TP. I'm already making $1,100 back. I'm already making my way back into recovery. Okay, that's setup number one. I can depend on the setup like that. Number two, the break and retest. Super simple trade. Boom, price does a break and retest. I'm in, stop loss below 50, 60 points, 70 points if I need to. I'm putting a decent lot size because I know if price doesn't break and retest, there's a very high chance it's not going to go after my stop loss. It's just got to continue. And about an hour tops, I'm already in profit. So if I need to make $3,000 because I lost it last week, I know that if the market goes at least 100 points, I gotta run with $30. And since I know the setup is such high quality, even if I were to trade with $30 and my stop loss is 50 points below me, potentially that account, even if it's a funded, right? 30 times 50 is 1,500. So potentially, if that's like a 100K funded account or 50K funded account or 25K funded account or a live account, you're going to have to figure out what your high quality trade setups is because those are the ones you're going to trade a little bit more moderately or aggressively. That means that's the type of setup you know works so well. You're willing to risk a little bit more just to recover your account. Okay, so let's say 50K times 2% equals 1,000. So you're like, you know what? This is a trade setup. I'll be risking $1,000 from that account because if I'm risking 60 points stop loss, I can still use $16. And if the setup goes 150 points, you're already making $2,500. That gives you the recovery you needed to keep going. Stop letting losses cripple you. That like stop letting a bad performance or like a bad outcome and turnout in the market literally crush your dreams. Stop. What you need to focus on is your recovery game. You focus on your recovery game, you'll be all right. You'll be straight. It don't matter what bad week you had, you will finish, you will recover by the end of the week or the next week, or you will finish the job by the end of the month. Lock in, focus, and take selectively high quality setups that are super simple. All right. You got this. You got this. That's part number one. That's part number one. Okay. Number two, US30. US30 has this beautiful tendency, and next week is finally here. Next week is FOMC week. Monday 16th, Tuesday, Wednesday, FOMC federal funds rates. Last week or this week, we got to see different banks release their interest rate interest rate cuts. We got to see the euro go from where are we? Come on. There we go. We went from 4.25%. They dropped the rate to 3.65. The week before that, we got to see the Canadian dollar also drop their interest rates. So it is obvious that the US dollar will more than likely drop their interest rates. This is very important. Very important. So the point that I'm trying to make, okay, there it is. Yep. So the Canadian bank, the Bank of Canada, went from 4.50, they dropped it to 4.25, so 0.25 basis points. So things are so expensive that they had to cool things down a little bit. These economies are doing so well that it's becoming a little too tough for the spending prices that we have to. Our spending power is just like a little tight. So that's why they had to loosen it up a little bit. Okay. So there might be a very profitable week ahead for the markets, especially those of us who trade US30. Now, this is what I want you guys to notice. Usually when price finishes like a buy cycle, right? They were selling from a supply zone, they sell off, and then they retest an area at least twice, and then they buy all the way back to the supply. Sometimes they go slightly above it and then break, retest, and reverse back. And you'll notice that once they do that, they take 2 days as well. For example, right here, you saw made it until the end of May over here. And then they did Monday, Tuesday, boom, Thursday. By Thursday, we can clearly tell they're not going to keep buying. And they spent the whole entire rest of May selling for about 1,600 points or more. If we started from here, it'd say about almost 2,000 points back to where they started. And notice that Thursday, they was aggressively dropping it. Boom, 380 points, 400 points. The second day, boom, 741 points. We could probably see a similar price action come around Wednesday FOMC. Okay? And this is not the first time US30 moves like that. They'll buy all the way to where they pushed it into the supply zone, come all the way back to the supply zone by sometimes like the end or the middle of a month, and then they'll sell all the way back down. This happened in August, not too long ago, just last month, and they sold for several days, about 4 days. Thursday, August 1st. Yeah. Jeez. So between Thursday the 1st up until Monday the 5th, we was selling like crazy. So for 2,000 points or so. All right. So it is very possible that now that prices made it here again into a high, and they spent 2 days retesting an area, and then they bought all the way to supplies. I wouldn't be surprised if price gives us the sell that we were anticipating until the end of the month of September on US30 to like 39,400. And then from there, they probably buy it by fourth quarter. I'm very curious to see if we're not about to have this exact plan play out. And I'm ready. I'm definitely ready to see something like that happen. All right. So for those of you guys who probably didn't have the best trading week, take heart. There's a better week next week. And there's always a setup that's super simple, like the break and retest, or a retest of the pre-market, or a retest of the market open by like 11, 12:30, or a breaker block. Like, you got to have hope in your setups. You have to have confidence in your setups that you'll see them, and when you see them, you'll take action. Okay? A trader is never down for too long. Keep your head up. Don't self-sabotage. There's a whole lot of more pips coming. Okay, guys? So this is what I wanted to break down for you. I know some of y'all are scared to trade US30, so your saving grace is only gold. And gold did run a lot this week. Gold ran for about 700 pips this week. So who knows? If price cannot go higher than last Friday, aka today, if they can't go higher than this high, they might retrace. You never know. If they do a buy side liquidity sweep of Friday on a Monday, Tuesday, or even Wednesday, boom, break, retest the area 2 days in a row, Wednesday, Thursday, or Tuesday, Wednesday, we know we'll have at least a setup to bring the market back and to make a higher low. So the possibilities are endless. You just gotta be open-minded and ready to execute. All right. So that's all for me. I don't want to make this video too long. I hope this brought you a lot of clarity, a lot of value as always. And you guys have a great rest of your day. Have a great weekend. And let's get back into that mode by Sunday market open. Peace, love, and blessings. Sir Hans Felix signing out.